So Children's Fairyland is hosting a special event this weekend. And joining me now is Executive Director Kymberly Miller and Glynn Washington, host of Snap Judgment. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Bedtime Stories.
So Bedtime Stories is a follow-on from our fundraiser last year, where we combined forces with Raphael Casal and David Diggs to produce Celebrity Storytime last September for our birthday, for Fairyland's birthday. And Glynn Washington was an excellent reader of children's stories during that fundraiser last year, which was incredibly successful. And since we're not quite out of this pandemic and we really need to keep focused on the future, we're reprising this virtual celebration, and Glynn so graciously has offered to be our host.
So Glynn, tell us a little bit about Snap Judgment and how this plays into what Fairyland is doing.
Sure. Snap Judgment is a national radio storytelling show heard on stations around the country. We have a spin-off podcast called Spooked that is we just released recently for our 6th season. We're a storytelling show based in the heart of Oakland. Oakland's almost another character to a lot of Snap Judgment storytelling. And I think that we've been in some way attached, involved, related to Fairyland since our inception. As you know, there's a lot of different storytelling outfits that have their home in Oakland. And we all kind of, Fairyland is this castle on the hill. All of us have this sort of nostalgic appreciation for this place that is made of magic and wonder. And so I'm just thrilled to be able to say, yeah, we're Snap people now that we're grown. This is where the magic starts, and people need to understand what a treasure, how rare it is to have something like this at the heart of Oakland, at the heart of Oakland imagination and Oakland storytelling.
So looking ahead to this weekend, I hear there's going to be some special guests. Who exactly will we be seeing?
We are definitely excited to have special readers. We're going to have Teacher of the Year, which we're excited to highlight. We did that same last year. Rafa and David will also make special appearances as they are very connected to Fairyland, continue to be and supporters of us. So we're excited to have, and we definitely are going to have a very special guest. Congresswoman Barbara Lee will be joining us reading a special book. So we're really excited about that.
The puppets, there are puppets involved. There's magic. There are characters. There's a horse. There's all sorts of things I think going to take a lot of people back. That they remember this. We've been locked out of the Fairyland Magic Gates for some time because of the pandemic. This is a chance to peek back and see what all the creatures are doing in the absence.
That's so true. The puppets are very special guests and hosts, co-hosts with Glynn. So we're excited to bring our puppeteering back to life.
And this will work. You don't have to have the magic key, because that was my favorite part, was having my little key with me.
Well, the magic key opens everything, right? Whether it's your imagination or a storybook box in person at Fairyland. But no, this is a free event for all to attend. Even though it's a fundraiser, it's free for all. We want everyone to have the opportunity to hear really fun bedtime stories.
Now, with an event like this, why is it so important to build a community of storytellers?
It's really important to have a community of storytellers because we want to Fairyland wants to represent our community. So Fairyland is a storybook theme park in which, we're telling lots of fairy tales, but in many instances, those fairy tales are not representative of the people in our neighborhood. And we want to make sure that we are telling the stories that reflect our community. And so we're inviting those kinds of storytellers to help us do that, help us start that tradition.
This is the magic that I feel. I knew that my kids, their friends, could walk through the Fairyland gates no matter what their background was, whatever classification they put on themselves or had other put on them. that they were going to feel home here. They're going to see themselves represented in the storytelling that happened. And I don't think that it's any like, I don't think it's any oddity. I don't think it's strange that so many storytelling organizations have sprung up in Oakland that, and use lots of people from the mayor on down started their, whatever they're doing at Fairyland, telling stories that matter to people, telling stories that count. So many people look on this as their childhood home. And we want to make sure that, pandemic be damned, that the next generation of kids is going to get the same opportunity to reinvent Fairyland the same way that happened before.
So now you both have mentioned the pandemic and what we've seen the past 18 months. Fairyland has reinvented itself. How has the road to recovery been?
It's been, it's been very hard. We definitely did not know what we were capable of until the pandemic showed us how. By shutting down our whole physical space, we had to say, how can we share ourselves and support our community? That helped us. And when we met up with Raphael Casal and David Diggs, it helped us sort of, think about what it is we could do to support our community, which is emerge our magic tree. So that's our digital space for Fairyland, where we tell stories online, hopefully reaching folks who cannot make it to the park, and bringing those experiences back to the park for a full circle experience. So it's helped us in bringing our puppeteering, our performers, our shows, our read-alouds, has really helped us to understand that we can do more and be part of our community in a very different way. So reinventing, even though it was very hard, I think it was the necessary push, as many people are talking about during the pandemic. It's sort of like, I don't want to do it, but then you realize you didn't know what you could do until you did it.
Glynn, do you want to add anything?
I just want to say that it really was, last year was the first time I got to participate in Bedtime Stories. I got to tell a story, and it was in the kind of the dark days of the pandemic, when we didn't really see this light that we might have at the end of the tunnel. And so many people have mentioned, I've been using that for my kids. I'm so glad you told a story. I saw so many other storytellers do their thing. It really makes you feel like, okay, there was a way to put out this, there was a way to really to express our joy of story, and to let people know that this too shall pass. These kids, they don't necessarily, the world is a very short time frame. And being able to do something like this, they don't know why they couldn't go back to Fairyland. They didn't know why they had to stay inside. They didn't understand all that kind of stuff. And being able to share stories with them, I think was really, it was kind of like Oakland giving our own kids a hug. And we all needed one.
We definitely did. So how can we participate in Bedtime Stories? What's the information we need to know? How can we participate?
Please join us and register now for this free event at fairyland.org/bedtime. And we'll be happy to receive you. It's going to be a good time. 6 o'clock this weekend.
Perfect. You want to say that last part again? What time? Sorry, I jumped the gun and got too excited.
You can join us as early as 6 p.m. this Saturday, the 25th.
What's that website? What's that website to call? What's that website?
You can register at fairyland.org/bedtime.
Anything else that you guys want to add? This has been great. Any other information that you want to plug for Fairyland, for Snap Judgment?
Well, yeah, I will say this. Once you've done and finished with the children's stories, Snap Judgment is in fact dropping our brand new season 6 of Spooked. Real people, their real supernatural experiences. Be afraid and do not turn out the lights. It's scary. It's scary. Yeah. Real people.
Just in time for Halloween.
That's right. Listen, we're going to it. We're marching to Halloween, and we can't wait for people to hear it.
Perfect.
Super
this is great. Thank you so much.